Hello and welcome to The Bright Side. I'm your host, Katie Inman, and we are so glad you are here with us for episode 7. There we go. That is a lucky number. 7.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, Shelby Wright is here with me. She is my partner in positivity.
Hello.
Yeah. You were looking very colorful today. Always love your fits.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But Shelby's the one who makes sure all the things pop up on the screen. Things are looking good, and she keeps this train a-rolling. So we are very thankful for Shelby. But we always love to start off these episodes with a little glimpse into the good things that are going on in our lives. I will say a shared one that has to be good for both of us is that people are loving The Bright Side show.
Oh, yeah.
And that makes me happy. I know it must make you happy too whenever people are actually watching the thing that you care so much about.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for watching every week. Every week I get so excited to see like, oh, how many people have watched so far.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's been quite a bit.
I know. So Shelby, why don't you start us off though with something good that's going on in your life right now?
Okay. It's been a really long week, admittedly. But I guess the good news is, but also part of the reason why it's been a long week is because I'm off weekends.
Woo!
Yay! I officially have my weekends back, off Saturday, Sundays for the first time in over a year. But therefore, I'm working like a 7-day stretch.
Yeah, that initial moment of getting off, but having to work that 7 days is brutal. But once Saturday gets here, you're going to be like, what do I do with my time?
I know. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I'm like, I got to do something special.
Yeah.
Because I haven't had a Saturday to do anything forever. But
Well, I am so happy for you. That is such a great feeling to get off of weekends. And I think you probably feel the same, that like the weekend people are great. It's just the schedule, of not being able to do the extra things on the weekends that is like not so great.
yeah, I'm going to miss them, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah. Well, we are so happy for you. Something good that's going on in my life right now. This past weekend, I actually got to go tubing in Townsend with my best friends. So that was really great. I did get a sunburn, but that's okay. It's healing up. It's fine. And I have not gotten a sunburn really all summer. So it's totally fine. But we got to go down the river. The river was kind of up because of all the rain that we've been getting. So we got to go down it 3 times. Then we enjoyed some really good food and drinks at the Peaceful Side Social. So that was also really awesome.
Nice.
So we finally found a day where it wasn't raining, where we were able to do that. So, yeah, that was super great. So that's my bright spot that's going on in my life right now. Okay. So today on the show, we have a lot of fun things on the docket. First of all, you're going to want to stick around until the end because I actually call Brittany Bailey. You know her, you love her, you wake up with her dark and early every day, but she just got married not that long ago. So she is going to tell us more about how she experienced that day, how she's feeling, and then also she's going to give some advice on how people should look on the brighter side of things and how it is never too late to start a new chapter of your life. So you're going to want to hear that. We also have some animal news, of course. We always have animal news. But this one, we got another ball of floof that has popped up at an aquarium in Tennessee. And we got a slow-moving creature that's blowing out some candles. Then looking ahead to, we have a look at some special school teachers, a wild water ski lake in Wisconsin. How many W's can I fit in that? And then also a look at the new night flight expedition. So all of that on the plan. Let's go ahead and dive right into it. This first story that I want to share with you, it is out of Newport. And students across the East Tennessee region, they are back in the classroom, but we know those success stories, whether it's good grades or it's some personal growth for those students. It all starts with the teacher at the front of the class. 2 East Tennessee teachers are actually up for Teacher of the Year here in the state. And our very own Emily Crabtree introduces us to the pair of finalists.
I love what I do, and I wouldn't change it.
Gibbs middle school teacher Kathy Parnell has taught special education for 31 years, but that wasn't her original plan. She was going to school for music until one professor changed her mind.
She said, I think you're in the wrong field. And I was kind of shocked. And she said, I really think that you need to be a special ed teacher.
Parnell says she sees students through their whole career at Gibbs Middle School, and she loves to watch their growth over the years.
Usually by the third year, they're ready to move on and we're ready to help them move on. Not because I'm tired of them, but because you can see them growing.
At Newport Grammar School, STEM teacher Philip Lewis is in a special position.
I went here as a student all the way from kindergarten through 8th grade. When I went to school here, I was not the best student. I was pretty terrible. Almost failed 7th and 8th grade. But then when I got a little bit older, it's just I wasn't motivated to learn. So then there's a certain point where I got a book on magic, and I learned how to do magic tricks, and the things that I were reading, it comprehended and it made sense.
Lewis tries to find ways to engage the students who walk into his class.
We do a dissection every grade, so it goes starfish in 3rd, and then we do a grasshopper in 4th, a sheep eyeball in 5th, a worm in 6th, a frog in 7th, and a shark in 8th grade. So that's something that the students are they always look forward to. They're like, I can't wait till we get to the shark. So it's neat that I get to see students over a 6-year period.
But he says his biggest goal is to make them feel confident.
This is a safe place to fail. Sometimes it's messy, but that's when we really learn. And just come in with a good attitude. I can do the rest.
I love that last line, coming with a good attitude and I can do the rest. And Philip Lewis, who was in that story, I actually know him personally. He really is super cool. He is a great teacher, and he's also a magician. Whenever I was growing up and in dance classes, we did a dance to the Pink Panther song, and we were supposed to be like magicians, and we had these wands that looked like they were floating, and he came in and taught us how to like make them look like they were floating. And so yeah, he lives in Jefferson County, and his wife is also a teacher. She's an art teacher, but he is just the coolest person. I don't know the other teacher personally, or else I'd be bragging about her too, but she also seems great. Those winners for the Teacher of the Year contest and all of the other of the year titles, those are going to actually be announced this fall at the TDOE's annual Excellence in Education Banquet. So we are rooting, of course, for our East Tennessee teachers because, I mean, come on, they're so great. Mm-hmm. All right, we have a continuation, actually, of Newport in this next story. So Philip Lewis, he's a teacher at Newport Grammar School, and 2 of the new teachers at that same school, they are no strangers to one another. They've actually known each other almost their whole lives, and it's so cute. They grew up alongside each other, and they actually are from Greenville. Their friendship continues in the classroom, but this time they're not students. So Emily Crabtree also brought us this story. You're seeing them there. But Riley Wittenberg and Kenton Cobble, they grew up in Greene County. They were at an incredibly tiny school. The 2 were very close at the time. They were very competitive, but they went to different high schools, so they drifted apart. Cobble said that their elementary school only had 1 class per grade level, so everyone knew everyone. And that is when that they had the chance to reconnect too whenever they both came to Newport Grammar School as teachers.
Very small, tiny. I mean, probably like 15 people in a class. I think in mine and Riley's class, there was only 4 or 5 boys at one time in the entire grade.
And Wittenberg also says that getting to meet Cobble again through this new venture of being teachers at the same school, it really brought up fond memories of them both.
Our elementary school is actually not even an elementary school anymore. It was so small. It almost closed down when we were in, I think, 4th grade, and me and Kenton went to the courthouse and sat in a meeting with our moms fighting for it to stay open while we were there. So we got to have a few more years together before it closed down.
And as I mentioned, the pair, they were very competitive with each other growing up, and their moms were also on the PTA together, and they encouraged them to reach for the stars, succeed, all of those things. So fair to say that they have done that. And then also Cobble said that in his first year teaching, he was really kind of scared to go into a new place, but knowing that his old buddy, good friend was teaching there in the same school, it put him more at ease. So that is just such a cute little story.
That is so sweet. Also, like, what are the odds?
I know. From Greene County, teeny tiny school, to the same school now teaching in Newport. Yeah. That is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they were such cute kids, too. They recreated some of those photos. And, man, my heart melted. All right. This next story that we have is actually from up in Wisconsin. It's our sister station up in the Minnesota area, Carol 11. Boyd Hubert if you have watched Channel 10, you know we love Boyd Hooper here. We show his stories a lot because he is such a talented storyteller, but wanted to share this story with you because here in East Tennessee, you know, in the summers, we love our lakes. We love to get out on the boat. We love to water ski or wakeboard or surf. Or me, I'm a floater. I
also like to float.
I'm not into the extremes, but you know, whichever way you like to spend your time on the water, this one farmer up in Wisconsin took it to the next level. Here is Boyd Hooper.
Grow up on a farm and you work.
We would get up before school, feed calves.
But
Yep.
Elaine Hellerfottler's dad
Yeah.
had more than cows on his mind.
Play and fun. Mainly water skiing.
Water skiing
Yep.
was an inconvenient choice for a man living in a sea of corn.
He has an idea.
Till Elaine's dad planted something new.
We dug down to the water table.
A lake that grew from a cornfield.
Blue Moo. You gotta honor the girls that pay the bills that dug the hole.
Blake Heller is unaware of another farmer
Nobody crazy enough.
who'd hire a neighbor with an excavator to dig a trench a half-mile long, then count on underground springs to fill Blue Moo Lake.
He's definitely different.
That's putting it nicely. He's a little different.
Greg Fotla is Blake's son-in-law. And this is what happened. As Greg and Elaine's kids, Tucker, Kaysen, Carson, and Cooper, were introduced to Blue Moo.
This is Carson. She is 6 years old and she's learning how to slalom ski.
Carson's parents
Carson!
have made Blue Moo their kids' ski school,
This is how you teach people how to barefoot.
which has surprised
1 foot.
no one.
Two of us met at a barefoot tournament when we were 13. The very first time we went against each other, I beat her.
And then the 4 times after that, it was me.
I let her beat me a couple times at those tournaments, got her number, and here we are.
Greg, for the record, is a Blue Moo big to-do too.
This is a back beat.
But only one person on this boat is in this book.
Yeah, Mom, because she broke the world record.
World record barefoot skiing jump, 2 world championships, and 2024 inductee into the USA Water Skiing Hall of Fame.
Still got it.
All earned training in a cornfield. Maybe Elaine's dad wasn't so crazy.
You bet. God dang right.
Nor is this.
Yeah, brand new.
Elaine's family
At the Blue Moo.
now lives in the cornfield too.
Why not here? We have this beautiful lake, that's why.
It's as if 20 years ago, her dad just knew.
That's where it all started.
Hollywood may have built a baseball diamond in a cornfield, but it took Blake
Well, yeah.
to grow a lake.
This is our dream come true.
Boyd Hooper, KARE 11 News, Alma Center, Wisconsin.
I have to get your reaction, Shelby, because I had watched this story before that this is your first time seeing it.
Yeah, that's insane. See, my dad has like a boat and my brother like water skis and stuff with his friends. And I refuse. Like, it scares me. I refuse. I hated tubing. Like, my dad would like irritate the heck out of me and be like, get on the tube. And I'd be like, no, I'm not a water person. Like you said earlier, I'm a floater. So that was insane and a little scary. And like the flippy thing,
I know.
like how do you even come up with that?
I don't know, but that whole time, that story, my eyes were glued to it and my face stayed in a permanent smile because it's like you see the joy in these people's faces. They love the Blue Moo. I keep wanting to say True Blue because I went to MTSU, but the Blue Moo Lake in a cornfield.
That's
okay.
Insane.
I know. And Boyd just does such a good job. But any story he does, I'm like getting chills and like, whoa, I want to see that, even though it's in Wisconsin. But man, also, this story had another interesting tidbit. Blake, the guy, the farmer who built this lake in the first place, he actually learned how to water ski at a frat house in Wisconsin. So
Oh.
Look at there.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, we have many more great stories looking at the positive side of things, including animals, a new ride at Dollywood, and even some other fascinating tidbits. But you're going to have to stay tuned after the break to find all of that out. Welcome back to the bright side. Well, at the Tennessee Aquarium in Chattanooga, there is a double scoop of floof. And I'm not talking about ice cream. I'm talking about another penguin. So we shared with you on a previous bright side episode that they had a new little baby penguin that hatched. Well, now they have another one. It's a summertime baby boom. If you can believe it, the Tennessee Aquarium shared these photos and videos with us. Look at this. The season's second Gen 2 penguin chick hatched on July 17th. I know. Look at the feathers or the down. I don't know. Whatever they have. Whatever penguins have. I don't know. Yeah. The parents of this little chick are Blue and Flower. And a few weeks can make a world of difference for little baby penguins. As we talked about with the last story, they grow really fast. But at 1 month old, this latest chick is hefty, but still covered in, hey, here it is, down. Fluffy down.
Oh, there.
There we go. Meanwhile, the season's first chick, which hatched just 22 days earlier on June 25th, is already nearly as large as its parents. You saw that in the beginning there, and you're going to see it here again in a little bit, I believe. But the second chick doing well, growing at an expected rate, but it didn't have the easiest start in life. So the vets, they had to intervene. It wasn't gaining weight the way that it was meant to. But they did what they needed to do, and now it is back on the right track. And after the shaky start, it has put on weight. And I thought this was so interesting last time, so I wanted to talk about it again. But a day after hatching, it weighed 101 grams, which is 3.5 ounces. That's about the same as a bar of soap. And then at 1 month, it had increased its weight 2,700%. Up to 2.73 kilograms. Okay, here's a comparison that makes you realize how much that is. At that rate, the average American infant, which is about 7.5 pounds at birth, that would tip the scales at more than just 200 pounds after a month of being born.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that's the equivalent to like a penguin. So, man, they grow super fast. I'm glad that penguins don't have to wear onesies or anything. Could you imagine? They would like grow out of everything in a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So there you go. Some penguin news. Love that. Now we have some news from Zoo Knoxville. Joe the Sloth. He is turning 7 years old, and the zoo is celebrating in true fashion. They were able to give Joe a little cake. The cake is made out of watermelon and sweet potato, and it had a little hibiscus flower, lick. It had a little hibiscus flower and a 7 candle there for him to check out and, of course, eat. And Joe, the sloth, he is a two-toed sloth. He hangs out at the Ark at Zoo Knoxville. He's usually sleeping when you go by. Just gonna be, sloths, they are so slow and tired all the time, and he is nocturnal. But they actually named Joe the Sloth Joe after Joe Clayton. So there is another little fact for you, too.
Interesting.
Yeah, so happy birthday, Joe. Hope you had a great 7th birthday. This is our 7th episode. You're turning 7.
Oh my gosh.
The stars are aligning. Also, some zoo news, too. They are looking for some actors to help them with Boo at the Zoo. That is our annual event that they do around Halloween time, that they encourage families to come out and trick-or-treat at the zoo. And they need actors to make all of that happen. So here's the flyer that they posted online of how you can go and audition, apply for those jobs. The pay starts at $20 an hour. Applicants, you have to be,
good.
Yeah, I know it really is. I'm like, should I? No. But applicants, they have to be over 18, and there's all sorts of characters that they're needing. I just saw someone that I follow actually on social media post that they went and auditioned, and they found out they got the job. So
awesome.
Yeah, if you want to do that, you can go to their social media, their website. The links are all there if you are interested. All right, now, this next story is one that I am amazed at and am just so in awe over an 8-year-old boy. Knoxville Mayor India Kincannon recently honored 8-year-old Asher because he saved 2 people from drowning in an apartment pool. So, 8-year-old Asher Holmes, He was going by in June, and he saw 2 swimmers in distress at an apartment complex swimming pool. It was a 9 and a 12-year-old at the bottom of the pool. He acted without hesitation, and he pulled them from the water, and he undoubtedly saved their lives. So Mayor India Kincannon honored him with a little proclamation. Here's what she had to say about him.
You don't have to be a professional firefighter to help. You don't even have to be an adult to help. You don't even, in this case, you didn't even have permission to go to the deep end, did you? So he did what he had to do to help out someone whose life was at risk, as did the other people who helped out and saved 2 lives. So I have a special award for Asher. This is a City of Knoxville recognition for extraordinary courage and personal sacrifice during a near-drowning emergency on June 19th, 2026. Recognizing the immediate danger to another child, you acted decisively and at personal risk to yourself by entering deep water and rescuing a distressed swimmer from the bottom of the pool. Your heroic actions saved a life and reflect exceptional bravery beyond your years.
And he looks so shy and timid there standing next to the mayor, but you know he is full of bravery. Diving in to help, 8 years old.
That's crazy.
I know.
Like, just thinking, just like, I could imagine the situation. Of course, we say this all the time. We were just shocked by kids every week. But, like, I mean, I feel like most kids would go get an adult or something, but him just taking it upon himself. It's just so impressive.
The mayor, she went on to say, too, she's like, you can apply to be a firefighter. I think you'd be a great lifesaver. I mean,
yeah, no,
truly. Asher, good job. And listen, we have seen a lot of stories and things like that, but like Shelby said, we're always amazed by the acts of heroism and bravery and the ability to just jump in and help someone when they need it. So you go, guy. All right, our last little story of this block, we want to talk about Night Flight Expedition. You have probably been hearing about this brand new ride at Dollywood for months and months and months, because Dollywood had originally scheduled it to open at some point during the spring of 2026. So it was going to be May, then maybe June, and then they decided to push that back to the middle of August. So I got to actually go to the park and ride it for myself. I will say the ride is beautiful. You cannot deny that. It's an expansion of Wildwood Grove. It is the most expensive ride investment at the park so far. When you ride it, you will see why. But Dollywood actually didn't allow us to take our cameras or phones on the ride because they wanted to keep it a secret until people could ride it, which, by the way, it is open to the public now, so you can go see it. But they posted a little preview on their social media. So here's what they posted.
It was amazing.
Just the theming from the start, insane.
I couldn't stop smiling.
I kept saying, wow, wow, wow.
All the little details that y'all have put into this. Amazing. You didn't know what was going to happen next.
So fun.
The colors, the excitement. It just brought tears to my eyes. Beautiful.
Best ride in my whole life.
Number 1, out of the park for Dollywood for sure.
Definitely my new favorite.
So yeah, you got to see a little bit inside of the ride there, and it is a beautiful ride. Like I said, it is a roller coaster. There's also water, and then there's even a section where you feel like you're flying. It was wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, night flight.
I know. And it's all indoors, so you can ride it all year long.
Oh, awesome. That's That's great.
And the line that we stood in was air conditioned, so that was
even better.
But you know, too, though, whenever a ride first opens, the lines are going to be long.
Mm-hmm.
So just be prepared for that. But I think you should ride it. Anyways, that was our section of talking about different good news happening around East Tennessee. But stay tuned, because after the break, we are going to tell you about some more fun things coming up here at Channel 10 for high school football season. And I'm going to give my friend Brittany Bailey a ring so she can talk about her new ring. Stay with us. Welcome back to The Bright Side. Well, before we go, we have a few more things that we need to talk about, of course. One of them is reminding you that every week on 10 About Town, which is our 4 o'clock newscast on WBIR, I am out and about somewhere different every day, and I'm shining the positive spotlight on the different events, people, places, things going on in our area. So here's a little snippet of Out and About in East Tennessee. On Monday, I was out and about in downtown Knoxville at the East Tennessee History Center because they have a very important and special display right now through August, and it's celebrating 70 years of WBIR Channel 10. So in this display case here, it's right next to the trolley in here. You can see all sorts of artifacts and relics from 70 years of WBIR. On Tuesday, I was out and about in Sevierville at the Sevierville Golf Club. I grabbed a golf club too to try out their new Eagle's Nest. They have the top tracer technology on all of these screens here in each of their bays, and you can choose different settings, whether you're a pro and you want to see how far your swing goes, or maybe you're like me and you just want to play Angry Birds. There's all kinds of options.
I'm out at IAMS to talk about their 15th annual Hummingbird Festival. I've got my red on because I've done a little bit of research and I found out that these birds love bright colors. So
on Thursday, I was out and about in Oak Ridge at Melton Hill Lake because teams were getting ready and practicing for Saturday. It's a dragon boat competition happening here in Oak Ridge. On Friday, we rounded out the week on a very high note. We got to spend it at Dollywood. They officially unveiled their newest ride, Night Flight Expedition. Now, this is an expansion of Wildwood Grove in the park. Thanks so much for being with me as I was out and about in East Tennessee this week. We'll see you next week. So there's just a little taste of some of the fun things that I get to do. Every week is different, but every week is fun. If you want to watch it, you can go on our streaming app, WBIR Plus. You can watch for free on your TV, and you can also watch it on our YouTube channel too. It's a lot of fun, I promise. It drops every Friday evening, so you can watch it on there. Well, also, another exciting thing is that 10 Tailgate is officially back. If you are not familiar with what that is, basically for the last few years, WBIR has spent every Friday during high school football season at different high schools as they take on different teams in big rivalry matches. We talk about the game that's going to happen. We also do another competition called Tackling Hunger. That is in collaboration with Second Harvest Food Bank. So there is a battle on the field, on the gridiron under the Friday night lights, and then there's also a battle off the field. It's cash and cans. So students get to bring cans to school, see who brings the most amount of food, and then you, the beautiful viewers, get to help out as well. Every week, you have the chance to go online and donate to support your favorite school, and every dollar goes to Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee. Then, each Friday, the winning team gets a trophy, bragging rights, and Second Harvest gets all of the goodness too because they get money to help feed our neighbors. If you want to see a full list of everywhere we're going to be every Friday during high school football season, you can go to our website, and that's also where you can find the link to donate. Well, we have officially arrived at my favorite segment of the show. It's called Positivity Calling, and today I am calling someone in my contacts list that you actually see every morning here on WBIR. She is no stranger to your screens, and I'm sure whenever you hear her voice, you're going to think, is it 6 a.m.? What time is it? So I am going to give Miss Brittany Bailey a call because she just celebrated a milestone achievement not too long ago in Colorado. But I'm going to call her up, and I am going to have her explain more to you. Here we go. Hopefully she answers.
Hello.
Hello, Brittany. You are on the bright side. Thank you for answering the phone.
Well, hello. So glad I answered. Well, stuck in traffic.
Okay, well, be safe. But also, Brittany, I wanted to call you for our Positivity Calling segment today because you have a really great and fun thing that you just celebrated in your life very recently. You gained a new last name. Tell us a little bit about your good news.
Well, I somehow just got married a couple of weeks ago. Wild to think about, but it was a great wedding. We had a destination wedding in Colorado in our favorite little mountain town called Crested Butte. It's an old mining town, tons of character, beautiful in the summer, lovely in the winter for skiing, wildflower capital of Colorado, and it ended up just being a perfect day.
Oh my goodness. And how excited are you now that you don't have to plan the wedding anymore?
Pretty excited. I kept asking everyone. Yeah, I would talk to people who had sort of been recently married or, maybe married for a long time, because I had heard of this phenomenon called post-wedding depression, where after the big day, because there's been so much planning and excitement and anticipation leading up to it, that once it's over, you just don't know what to do with yourself, and you kind of get depressed because you don't have that big thing to look forward to anymore. You don't have that thing to occupy your time. But then I heard that others would say, I just felt a big sense of relief. And I am so close to it that I'm not sure, honestly, exactly how I'm feeling right now. But for more than a year, I was full in, as you well know, wedding planning. Not everything went according to plan, so it was incredibly stressful. I basically considered it a second job. So just a heads up and a warning for anybody who may be planning a wedding soon. It is very, very tough. And we did have a planner, but it wasn't a full-on planner. So I did the majority of all of the nitty-gritty details by myself. So I'm not sad that that part is over, but I kind of want to go back and just do the day all over again and again, because it's really hard, as I'm sure you probably heard before as well, to really soak in all of those moments and remember them. So I wish I could do it again just for that reason.
I know. Your pictures are beautiful. You finally shared some publicly with people who follow you online and everything like that. But your pictures are absolutely gorgeous. Not only the backdrop, but you and your new hubby just look so happy and just like you're living in the moment.
We were, maybe some of the happiness is the relief that we're finally here doing it. No, but it was truly, it might sound a little cliche to say, but it truly was our perfect day, because it was one of those things where it was a small wedding, mostly because it was a destination wedding. We only had 40 wedding guests, and it was perfect because that was essentially our closest friends and family surrounding us that day. So everything felt very special and intimate and curated. And we had, because it was away, we had sort of a little weekend of events. We had a night before party, a little welcome hike in the morning, then the wedding, a post, an after party rather, and then a brunch the next day. So we had all of these special moments packed in to really get the time to engage with the guests and spend time with people maybe we hadn't seen in a little while. So that made everything more special. So I think that helped us on the day just really be able to soak in everyone and focus on each other as well, because I think a lot of times during weddings you feel, if that's maybe your only event, you feel very caught up in making sure you're interacting and engaging with every single guest, especially if you have a lot, and that can take up a lot of your time during the actual day that maybe you don't get to spend with each other. And we didn't have to worry about that because we had so much time to spend with people throughout those various events, and we had already reconnected with everyone. So we got to really soak in that big day. And that also allowed us to step away a few times. We had a first look in one location at the top of a mountain, and then we also had more pictures at our venue and even got some sunset photos as well. There even was a drone at some point that we haven't seen that footage yet. We don't have the video footage yet, only some preview photos. We don't even have all the photos yet. So all of that you're seeing just truly captured the moments and how we were feeling that day, which was, pure happiness, honestly.
Oh my gosh, and we are so happy for you. Congratulations. Do you feel married? Do you feel any different?
No, I really don't. Because, and that's one of the nice things about it. There was truly zero hesitation in taking this, really big life step because we were so sure. Let's face it, I'm an older bride, and so I have a lot of years of experience, and so does Justin. And so we really knew what we wanted out of life. We knew we were compatible. We knew that our life was already a life together before the official I do's, and we know that now I guess it's official on paper and maybe in the eyes of everybody else, but we were already purely committed before this. So that also allowed us to just make it a big celebration day. We didn't have to worry about it being this big important step, so to speak, because we already had a personal commitment to each other. So that made the day more fun too.
Oh, I love that. And it shows that it's never too late to find your person and to start a new era of your life, whatever that may be. But Brittany, before you go, because I know you got to get to tap class here that you're driving to, but before you go, do you have a piece of advice for our viewers who are watching this, maybe a way that they can look on the bright side or find positivity in their lives?
I think you just touched on it, which is that it's never too late for your happy ending. And sort of don't give up on that hope. I mean, I'm not going to lie. There were many times in my life where I wondered if this would or could happen for me, because we know, I think you and I in this business especially, we know that life is not fair and not everyone gets the happy ending, and bad things can happen, and it's just, some things cannot be helped. But never give up that hope, because you just never know. And I will say, even getting back to the wedding, there were many, many, many things that went wrong leading up to the actual ceremony, up to the night before, even the morning of, when I had to take a cold shower because there was no hot water in the hotel room. So, I mean, things can go wrong, and then finally be right. And so I think if you look on the bright side and realize that it is never too late for the good things to happen in life, that can help us all get through the low moments too.
Oh my goodness. Well, such great advice. I love that. Never give up hope. And thank you for saying, look on the bright side. I mean, wow, name recognition. Here we go. No, but Brittany, thank you so much for calling in and telling us a little bit more about your happy, good news and sharing a little bit of that advice with the viewers. We appreciate it so much. Now have fun at your tap class.
I will. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. Bye. How fun is that?
That was so sweet.
I love hearing about the ins and outs of people's weddings, especially, and I got to hear a lot about Brittany's because her desk is literally right across from me. So every day I'd be like, Brittany, how you doing? So she just has a more relaxed aura about her now. Of course. But yeah, she even shared with me that on the morning of her wedding, she had to end up doing her own makeup, which was not the plan.
Oh, wow.
And her makeup bottle shattered on the ground and got everywhere. So she's not kidding when she said things went wrong, but then they went right. So there is your reminder for this week to look on the bright side. Never give up hope. It is never too late. And there are always good things to look toward and to look for. The more you look for the good things, the more you will find them. Thank you so much for listening and watching The Bright Side with Shelby and I this week. We hope you enjoyed it. Now, go forth and have some positivity in your week.